Kamara Drive-In. It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, 2017 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Alvin Kamara. Fresh off a big performance a week ago, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the New Orleans Saints. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by their 6-foot quarterback. You may have heard of him. From Purdue, it's Drew Brees.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
To throw, it's Brees. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And I think the ball's out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Yellow lady, check 56. Watch the run, watch the run. Shit.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Brees. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
The steal in the 2017 NFL Draft had to be running back Alvin Kamara out of Tennessee, who ended up being that year's NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. Split time with Mark Ingram his first 2 years in the league. With Mark Ingram now in Baltimore, it's his show. And through his first 2 years, almost equal yardage, rushing and receiving. Expect his rushing numbers to take a big leap in 2019.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. To throw is Brees. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this. You have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
Now this throw caught left side, and they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Goodwin able to haul it in. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Marquise Goodwin hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Niners have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Eric Armstead has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the Niners will go on offense, first and 10. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here first and 10 at the 40. The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 yards, a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely,
the ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now Breeze finding Kamara. A gain of 4 on the play, and they're going to be staring at a third and long here.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Breeze now to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to fourth down. Now they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here first and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to second and 4.
Probably a bit of a surprise call there on first down, but how about a tone setter for the drive? Picking up nice yardage with the big man.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week. Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
So make some room next to Tom Dempsey on the NFL's all-time field goal distance leaderboard. That's going to go down officially as a 63-yarder.
Let's not forget about David Akers, Jason Elam, and Sebastian Janikowski, too. So now Matt Prater at 64 has got a little bit of company up near the top spot. That was one heck of a kick right there.
On first and 10, here's Breeze. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
The Saints spent a third-round pick on Traquan Smith out of UCF in 2018, and what a thrilling season for him. He was the guy that caught the pass from Drew Brees that moved him past Peyton Manning to become the all-time leading passer in NFL history.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
This is taken around the 12. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer, handing the ball.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Marcus Davenport. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. But now it's third down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And this stadium is abuzz after that one, understandably so. I cannot believe he hit that thing.
And you can't help but think back to Tom Dempsey. And his record stood for, 43 years until Matt Prater broke it. And now here's a new record. And I'm with you. I cannot believe that ball went through the posts.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 19 carries, 88 yards, and a touchdown.
They've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Breeze now. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark, right?
And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. DeForest Buckner in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
And he's going to go down again. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker, Quan Alexander.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he survived.
And the pressure gets to him again. DeForest Buckner, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line. Jimmy Garoppolo and his offense heading back on the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The Niners on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Dancing to his left. And now Garoppolo lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. The 20, 10, and he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead down to 3 at 13-10. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. To throw, it's Garoppolo.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Mostert. And he's got this down to the 35. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. He'll rifle this one deep right, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the return will stop right around the 25.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
And here's a throw that's taken in by the tight end Cook. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Jared Cook is a guy who's been around the NFL. He's been with the Titans, the Rams, the Packers. And the last 2 years in Oakland, now he makes a move to the Big Easy, where he pairs with Drew Brees and forms a nice little threat.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Throwing on first down is Brees. Over the middle to Smith. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going. Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much, unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal. And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And there's a quick look.
That is caught. Traquan Smith. Touchdown Saints. Traquan Smith, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints have taken the lead. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Jerick McKinnon making his way back onto the field. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing, and they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. Off the play fake to McKinnon, it's Garoppolo. And he hits his man, Matthews. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards there and a first down. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he returns it into enemy territory down the 45-yard line. We remind you that coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football. Seems like we've seen the Seahawks quite a bit in prime time the last few weeks, and we get them again tonight as they head down to L.A. to take on the Rams. And then tomorrow night for Monday Night Football, it's Giants-Eagles from Chile, Philadelphia. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. They trail 20-13 our score as they have it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. Because if you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who are getting 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver.
Now Parise lost the football. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
They're going to look to throw. Finding Bourne here over the middle. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 10 more there and another first down.
First down, San Francisco.
And we're going to get a timeout. with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. We have hit halftime. Still 2. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Nick Mullins now heading out, the subject of our player spotlight. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
Ready up. Mike 47. I hope he's about to look, because I'm going to take you down.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Marshawn Lattimore right there on the coverage. He was draped all over it.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
So right after the defense gets you the ball on a takeaway on a fumble recovery of their own, you've got to reward them, don't you? You've got to stay out on the field, give them a chance to rest, and how about doing it the way they did it, running the football and picking it up on third down.
Would not have wanted to go 3 and out. They avoid that right there.
Yeah, they avoided the glares as they went back to the bench, didn't they?
That one good for 14 yards. Those are the type of runs that we did not see from him in the first half, but a good start to the third quarter.
And I know what everyone's thinking that's watching this. They did a great job adjusting at the half. Oftentimes you don't make adjustments. You just dial into your game plan a little bit better, and maybe they're starting to make some headway.
2nd and 6. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Screen play, McKinnon. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Now Mostert. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Another carry here for the fullback, Juszczyk. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
CD, you know there were quite a few Bears fans back in January saying, why didn't we hold on to that Robbie Gould guy?
Well, it's a legitimate question. 33 of 34 for San Francisco in 2018. The crazy stat of the year, he missed more extra points, too, than he did field goals, one in the 2018 season.
Now it's Gould after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Breeze. And he finds Cook. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That's a first down and then some. A 32-yard pickup.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now Breeze. And out of bounds right around the 20. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Again, it's Breeze. And Cook has it left side. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
Here we go again.
Again, it's Murray. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On 4th down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. And Lutz's kick is good. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still first down.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Come on now, let's go.
Still first down.
play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. Well, perhaps the center has a little stage fright here. Let's see if he can do better this time. It's now 1st and 30. This is Mostert. Room here to run. It'll be a 20-yard gain on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 10.
I don't know about you, partner, but I just came out of my chair. Big-time run right there, and all of a sudden I realized...
Didn't reach the chains, did he?
How do you go that far? Create that type of an...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they have the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you evolve. You know, you learn how to play it the Madden way.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll try and get the running game going here with Murray. He goes airborne. Latavius Murray, the 40, past the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Latavius Murray with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's Mostert. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of
pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Off the play fake to Kamara. It's Breeze. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And they're able to get this one across the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just